What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's PvP for my kids, IRL here. So, what I got for you today is a bit of a somber one. And it's sad. It is. Because it is about the slow death of this game that will be. And I've seen it. And a lot of the other people that maybe watch this video have come from IC, and you'll heard me reference that a lot. About the way that game is comparable to this one. It's very similar with a few tweaks here and there. It is. And I wouldn't be surprised if the devs had played IC and then took that here. I don't know if y'all noticed, and this is just a slight offset detail. But whenever the seasonal cards were eventually released, each one was done at 398 gems. Okay? Each one was done at 398 gems. IC, why not just make it a flat 400? Right? I mean, it's not like we're making a killing off of 2 gems. IC did the same exact thing. 398 on every card. So, from there, I pretty much knew that it was some way or another. IC was the one who started it. IC really was that first pioneer of tile-based this grand strategy. And I love these games. I really do. The strategy behind it. And there's some things that I don't particularly like, that I could go into a lot of detail about. But it's a good game. I think so long as they were to balance it. And that's kind of what I'm getting to is there's no balances. Right? There's none. There's no balances. We haven't seen a single update for now 2 straight seasons. They brought out the Season 3 cards. That was it. Ghost, I mean, if y'all even see right here, where is he at? It's just one if you go to his biography. To be released soon. Yeah, we've seen that for 2 seasons now. And I promise you it's not that hard to probably go to ChatGPT and just plug this guy in about his biography, okay? That's not that difficult. So, to kind of describe what it's probably going to end up, right? No new season cards will probably come out. None. No balances have been made to the skills or heroes whenever they were released. There's a lot of things that need to be loved on first. Really, that's the best way. A lot of these heroes, man, they're in the game, but they're useless. They are absolutely useless. I mean, just in what I have, I only have 2 teams, really. 2 teams that are even remotely competing in the meta. Remotely. William, useless. Attila, in the meta, useless. Richard's good, but you have to have Caesar. Cyrus, meh. Idan, unheard of. I was planning on using them, but after going rogue, I really didn't have much of an option. Again, Xerxes, needs love. V, man, he could have been so much better. He really could have. He had a lot of potential, man. It's sad to see that if he had just been tweaked a little bit, man, he could have been great. Arninimus, I think Arninimus is actually pretty fair right now. I actually think Arninimus is pretty fair. He synergizes really well. But yeah, that's my main thing about Arninimus. Yushiga Kenshin, utterly useless. Bellaris, only useful with Caesar. Other than that, though, but I mean, anyone's really useful with Caesar. Darius, Bybars, Al, Jeb, all these people, either one require Noble Knights to even work. Literally, if it's not Noble Knights, if this team didn't have Noble Knights, they wouldn't even work. Jeb, really wish he had more S ranking cavalry. None of the compatibilities were ever updated. Right? A lot of compatibilities could be shifted around to make these characters work. And I feel like that's such a disservice. There's these biographies don't even make sense. You and your allies gain a 3% tactical leech effect. Dude, who in this circle even uses tactical leech? These 2 people, these 3, are non-existent. They're just terrible. Leonidas is okay. Alexander is okay. Alexander should be so much better than what he is. Alexander should be on par with Caesar if you're talking about lore stuff. I mean, come on now. It's Alexander. Philip butchered season 1. That was really the start of it. Once they started, they just got rid of this entire team. They didn't want this team used anymore. And it was so sad because this was such a cool team. I would have loved to have used this team whenever it was good, because you could add your Caesar team and the Philip team. I mean, that was golden, man. The Serena team, useless trash. William, never got a chance to see this guy shine. Really, I mean, I thought this guy was going to be better than Charlemagne. Reading his ability, I was like, okay, this has a lot to it. I see a lot of good things that can happen, but it was like no abilities really worked with him. If brutal selection had been tuned a little bit, this guy could have been really useful. It's just so many tweaks could have been done to these characters to make them viable. And that's the sad part. Just tweaks on these characters could make such a difference. And nerfing some of these people, are putting in things like soft caps on Caesar's damage reduction. Over 100% he can consistently achieve with maybe a few abilities like Chief Skull, PNP, and his Civ skill, which is probably in Season 4 you're using Noble Knights or Elephant Warriors right now. It's just sad to see that all these abilities, right, they're not even useful. None of them were balanced again. Daring Assault, useless. Terror 3 formations, nobody uses prep to skills besides IDAM. That's it. Sun Chaser could be modified. Morale boost. It's pretty good in some cases. I've seen it pop off. Amplified Impact, Double Flank, Gate Conquest. Double Flank I think is kind of fine. Gate Conquest and Amplified Impact, like, especially Amplified Impact. I mean, my gosh, who thought that this ability was a good idea? It ignores disarm and stun. That's even how you kill. If you can't disarm someone with this ability, what's the point of dismantling Zhang? I mean, really, it's just senseless. It is. It doesn't make any sense. And little did they know that them coming out with OP abilities that people wanted to get was actually what killed the game, or is killing the game. Right? You know how fresh it would be to have a new meta to keep things around? There's a reason why so many games stay alive. Take League of Legends, been around forever. People play the same champions, but things change inside the game. It doesn't have to be the champion itself. It can be the abilities, the items. And I'm not talking about items in the same sense. Items more referencing in like League of Legends to the items or the abilities per se. So, reworking a lot of that can mean the difference between someone using. Oda was never used before Gate Conquest and Double Flank. Now he's the best card in the game. So, and then everyone was so refreshed to see Oda come into the meta. They're like, oh, my card's finally viable. I can use this guy in a team. A new map would be awesome. I would love to see a new map come out. I mean, there's a lot of freshness that can be done in the new map. Even just tweaking the parts about this map, but a lot of things can be done to reprimand the game and come out. I mean, and even just going away from the complete, draw rates are horrendous. So I've never gone into any of that stuff really about what to pay for, what to do this, what to do that, really, as much as I could stick away from it. I think I only did like 2 draw videos, and I stopped because I was like, I don't want to encourage obnoxious spending on this game, especially whenever the devs aren't, using my money for the game, right? And that's kind of what I'm a bit mad about. The devs are just gone. MIA. They took our money and ran. Almost like a cash out scheme, and that's what's disheartening, because this game was just released globally 6 months ago, and that's whenever the last balance update really was. It was like 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Is ridiculous. The game just got out of beta 1 year ago. 1 year ago, the game was out of beta. I wasn't around for it because I didn't know the game was around at that time, but that's where a lot of the people that played servers 1 through 6 came from, was from Immortal Conquest, pretty much this game's predecessor that I've talked about several times. And I just want to talk about the reason why, number one, why I've been making videos is because, number one, I like the community that we have. It was nice to reconnect with a lot of those people, and I tried my best to contribute to this game's community as I could. And just give people a reference point. I saw no one was making YouTube videos anymore that weren't paid, right? I didn't make a penny off of any of these videos. But I wanted to keep the community alive just to keep the game going. And that was really my thought process of, because I wanted to keep playing with these people. I've come to like a lot of the people I play with, especially within the guild that I'm in. I enjoy playing with each and every one of them. So that was the main reason why I decided to stick around. It was just, we came into this whole season. Season 4 has been like an anime redemption arc. It's been absolutely nuts. I mean, look where I'm sitting right now. Y'all are going to see the videos come out. It'll probably be my last series, to be honest. It'll probably be my last series unless something changes. If something changes, I will absolutely continue to make videos and support this game. And not for the reasons of giving the devs more glory. It's to keep the community going and engaged as best as I can do. So that's my whole thought process behind the game itself. And I wish more players had been able to play Immortal Conquest before this, and have really gotten to taste what the game life should be. That game lasted 3.5, 4 years. You had time to take breaks. Each season was about actually 6 months long. Right now, we're like rushing to the next season at 2 months. Right now, we would be engaged in battle here near Silk Road Junction, for instance. Each pack had closer to around, like, y'all know how, I mean, if I go right here, there's probably a pack open. You see, a new pack is open all the time. In IC, there was a pack every 14 days. And with that staggered out time, it gave people to take breaks. With a season being closer to 6 months and it pacing itself, it did a better job of pacing than what this game did. As y'all saw in my last video, I was able to take a level 8 in the first 48. You were going absolutely nuts if you got a level 6. If you got a level 6 in IC before, you were as top as I was getting that, right? But the abilities were far more balanced. So it was a lot, there was a way bigger skill gap than just throwing amplified impact on any person and just, running through the start. Because if you have Subutai and Mugli, as y'all saw, I could just run through everything. And yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't want to sit here and talk about balance for too much longer. But that's my main thoughts on the game life as a whole. But it's just disheartening to see that this is basically like a scam of some sort, that our money was basically taken, the devs are MIA, and it's just, I don't want people to continue to support this if we're not going to be backed up. I mean, it's just because my money that I invested into this game, right, it's not being used in the game at all. It's going to get used on some other project, right? They're going to take the money from here and go and build another app that they're just going to kill off in a year, right? Is that the main goal? So that's just my own opinion about it. And that's the reason why a lot of people have stopped spending. Nobody wants to spend money on this game because of what they're doing. They're doing quite literally verbatim that. They're taking the money from there and they're going to go use it to start up some other project. They've stopped working on this. We saw the game go down. And I'll actually find the video and I'll play it right now. So guys, interesting thing has now come up. I kid you guys not, this has been the most bizarre season. I think everyone can agree on this. So just watch this. Bro, what does this even mean? What does this even mean? I don't even know. Are we done for? So now that you see that, that was the only time I've seen a dev hop on in months to fix that. I was watching in Discord, one dev popped up for 5 or 10 minutes and then left. I'm sure Snuffkin or Pillager Synth reached out to them and said the game's literally not up. So they're around, but they're not developing the game. And, it's just... And my thing is, too, is you have to develop a game more, right, for it to make money. And what they're probably going to do is just go start up another game, get players to dump a whole bunch of money into it, develop it for a little while, and then let it go, right? And I can understand this game is a bit more of a niche. it is. It's a bit more of a niche. So it's just, I want to see the game continue, but it's just tough supporting people like this. It is. Like, I don't want to give any more money to people that are going to use my money to help their game. You know, it's just, it is what it is. And, you know, it's just, I thought I was going to be playing this game for at least 3 to 4 years and be able to record stuff as we went along, and things like that, and continue to help the community. So yeah, guys, that's my thoughts so far. You know, as you guys can see, I'm sitting on top of Atlantis. That's a bit of a spoiler, right? That is a spoiler. Spoiler alert, literally, of my newest series that'll be coming out. So I'll finish up that series, and that'll probably be, this is almost like my final video before the videos. So, about this game. So, until I have another game that I'm passionate about, or if this one kicks it up. If this one comes back and the devs start, you know, kicking butt, then yeah, I'm absolutely going to stick with it. Like many of us will. But it's just, I don't want to see the game, you know, it's basically just, at this point, it's already stale. Right? Nobody really wants to see Subutai, GSM, Oda team, and Caesar. Zhang is balanced where he's at. For what that team does, right? It's active based. There's a chance to counter Zhang, but you're countering spears with cavalry. Literally, you're countering spears with cavalry, not spears countering cavalry. The cavalry is countering the spears. So that's my final thoughts on where the game's at right now, its life cycle, and my opinions about where it's going from what I've personally seen in the past. And like I've talked about, a lot of players that came from IC, they were like, we're really going through this again, but like at a shorter time span. You know, it's just sad. It's just sad. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the rants, you know, as I've discussed, but I have a lot of passion for this game and the community that's with it. And it's just sad to see everyone being done like this. Every person playing this game is on the same page about this type of stuff. So, it's my opinion, and thanks so much for watching if you watched this far, and take it easy.